Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? I'm sorry to announce that we're canceling Flight 909 due to severe weather in Chicago.
Ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow alcohol enthusiasts, welcome to this year's Advent calendar. Can't you feel the holiday joy? Anyways, we're starting out with a bit of issues. One thing, as I spin around, I bought this guy to help out with the recordings, and it came with everything but a power supply. So it's a fancy paperweight without it. So I need to go back to there, where I bought it from, and see if I can, get a refund or get a power supply. See about that. Otherwise, I have started a very meager fire. There you go. The other issue, since I usually start with the fire, is that it's been raining. You could kind of see there's still a lot of moisture everywhere. The last week here in Phoenix, and also that's not draining properly. So that is a fire on top of a layer of water that's collecting underneath, as well as a bunch of wet stuff. So I need to figure that out. So I thought I'd start that fire, get some of it dried out, and maybe run to the store, see if I can get a power supply, a refund or something like that, and then maybe also see about getting some lighter fluid, some stuff to cook. Actually, I do have some. Actually, I'll just do that. I have some turkey burgers. I'll just cook turkey burgers. I have no buns. Well, no, it's okay. I have no bread buns to speak of. So, anyways, yeah, off to a great start. And there we go. As I burn a bit of the tree next to it. Maybe I should trim that before I burn it. But anyways, there we go. Roaring fire to start the Advent calendar. Got me some tri-tip. I'm going to cook it over the flames. So, other than the tri-tip there, I did also go to Guitar Center. They didn't have a power supply or another one to replace it with. Basically, I got that one because of USB. Anyways, this has USB also. So, we just exchanged it. They're about the same price. Basically, that one had more functionality than this, but this is more rock solid, I hope, when it comes to putting the mic into the computer. So, hopefully, when you next hear me, I'll be sounding cleaner. We'll see. Also, I'm going to get a proper lav mic for this thing. Because this year, hopefully, I'm going to be going out traveling more. Not for work, just for the vlog. Maybe that's what I should do. I'm also going to be cleaning up this mess, which is, still in the process of being rebuilt. Oh, well. Anyways. Yeah, so this year, hopefully a bit more organizing and a bit more putting things back in order. Like, look, brand new shelf, which looks exactly like the old shelf. So, because it is exactly the old shelf. I'm cheap, and that's a cheap one. So, that's one of the projects. Also making Christmas presents. Also getting my life back in order. Small things. So, we'll see what we do. Anyways, on to today's shot. So, while I have some vegetables cooking on the stove there, the steak's already been cooked. Probably too well done, but we'll see how it goes. I thought we'd get on with today's Advent calendar. As I sit here realizing, as I always do on the first day, that I forgot to get some dice. Nope, they're right here. So, right next to me here, kind of blocked by the shade here, is a 5 pachinko board thing. Basically, it's 5 randomized to 5. But first, I have 5 down here, and second, we have to roll a d20. Why d20 and not a d10? Shut up. There we go. 5. Well, that's easy enough to do. Alright, so 5 equals 5. We go over here. So here we are. Again, 5 to 5. Also just realized I'm off microphone, so I'm going to have to use the mic on here. So 5 is 5. Again, I'm going to get a second camera here in a second, so. And that's 4. So 5 is 4. 4 is this one. Yeah, it's getting a bit smoky in here because I'm that kind of cook. So, all that aside, today, though, we have picked Smirnoff Red White Berry, which is cherry, citrus, and Sweet Blue Raspberry flavored vodka from Smirnoff. There you go. So, interesting. Again, this was probably one that they put out during the 4th of July season, and when I happened to get it. So, but yeah, a lot of this stuff I've collected throughout the year. Again, I travel a lot for work, so like when I'm in St. Cloud, for example, in Minnesota, there's a station there, a liquor store that we always go to, that I always try to get liquor from. Again, it's the small liquor stores across the country where you get the unique stuff that, you know, a lot of local places might produce. So, anyways, so here's to the first shot. Let's see how it pours. I imagine since it's vodka, it's going to pour pretty clear. Yeah. Almost all the way up to the brim. But you can see it's very clear. It was a bit sluggish, but not thickish, if that makes sense. Now, the alcohol content, which helped me, I don't have good eyesight anymore. There we go. I went and got my readers and a light source. 30% alcohol by volume. That is so much clearer. But now you're blurry. So, again, fun eyesight. Anyways, so yeah, 30% alcohol by volume, which means this is actually a bit less than what I would consider your standard flavor amount of alcohol. Because again, standard vodka would be 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Then you knock it down usually to 35 for flavored stuff. Now this is even further down in 30. So again, that's 3 different flavors. So maybe that's why it's less. Let's see here. Interesting. I don't really smell much, but again, the vodka you're not supposed to. It's supposed to be tasteless and smellless. Anyways, or it doesn't have a smell. But you do have... That actually got on my nose. It burns. But yeah, so more berry than anything else. But again, the ingredients it had was what? Cherry, citrus, and blueberry. So there's 2 berries, 1 citrus. So there's going to be more of a berry smell to it. But anyways, here's to... Still working out the kinks, but here's to day 1. A new start, a new beginning. Cheers. Sorry, I got a shiver. That was not related to the alcohol. Yeah. Fireworks? Because baby, you're a firework. Come on, show me what you're worth. Make it go, ah, ah, ah. Anyways. It goes in. Instantly kind of this sweet... berry, blah. Not blah. It actually it's kind of tasting, but it's a muddled taste of berries and maybe a little bit of citrus. But that might have been again, since it was labeled as such. There's more of a mental thing there. Anyways, but it's little good sweet berry-ish taste. Nothing that stands out. Then it goes down. Then there's a flush up your nose, mild, not too bad, very manageable, not hot, just a flush up your nose. But as it goes down, it's like taking pictures of fireworks. Fireworks are great in the moment. You see the pictures, but you're really never going to look at those pictures ever again. In that... The taste was great. The aftermath was meh. Kind of a bad aftertaste, which is weird. Like it's more of a devastation after a party. Like it was great, but there's just a lot of junk left behind. So, I don't know what led to the quote-unquote bad taste. Again, it's... there's something there that didn't feel right. But, after that... There's a little bit of a blueberry, surprisingly, kind of aftertaste among all of it. No flush down your chest, no warmth up your face other than the nose. But yeah, no real flush of warmth, nothing alcohol cringe, nothing like that. It is good tasting. So that is easy to mix with. Because basically vodka, orange juice, vodka, whatever you want to mix vodka with, that you want a little that is already sweet or you want a bit of sweetness with it, this is perfect. So again, screwdriver. This will make your screwdriver a bit fruity actually. The citrus would blend in with the orange juice and the cherry, quote unquote, and blueberry would pop on out pretty announcedly. So got a nice little taste there. Mix it in with your fruit punch or your sodas, and it'll just give a little bit of sweetness to it. And any of that would mask whatever that aftermath of that taste was, which is weird. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't very pleasant. So, anyways, I don't know how long, 11 minutes with a bunch of pauses in between so I can get my glasses and do some other stuff. But all that aside, yeah, we're going to start another advent calendar. As always, as much as I try to plan ahead, I'm playing it by ear. So I'll hopefully see you tomorrow. Until then, have a nice day. Bye. Oh, audience engagement. Like and subscribe. Bye.